The police called Cynthia and told her they needed to speak with her because they believed that her husband was murdered.
Due to the fact you're here, I'm going to read your Miranda warnings. Doesn't mean you're in trouble or anything, it just...
Something's going on.
Well, obviously, I'd like to talk to you, but before
I'll tell you everything I know.
Okay. Just let me read them off real quick. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the TV shows.
Because I can't afford a lawyer.
Okay. Well,
should I call one?
That's entirely up to you. I'm not really a legal counsel.
Well, what
to
am I being
advise.
charged of?
You're not being charged. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in court.
Can and will be?
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to be?
You've probably seen Law and Order. You probably know these, right?
Actually, I haven't been able to watch a lot of TV lately.
I haven't.
I know people always say that. Like, remember that show? I'm like, no, I don't. I know, I'm deprived.
Yeah.
Well, at first tell me what is going on.
Well, you were saying a lot of stuff there on scene 2. I'd like to ask you what's going on, and you go from there,
Okay, here's what I think happened, James.
Cynthia begins telling the detective about how she met her husband's caretaker, Chuck. She claims she went to visit her father at the RV park where he lived, and there she met Chuck while she was hanging out by the pool.
While we were there, they have a public pool, so this is where I met Chuck Todd, and he was a married man, and he is a Marine, and he's like my dad's age. So I was thinking, got to talking, and because you're sitting in the jacuzzi, the kids, you can still watch them swim. So he was in the same park. So again, I started to call on him, and we got closer, and I never thought anything of it, like what now I see has happened. He really likes me, and I don't like him like that. So, not a way it occurred to me, and this is in retrospect. Now I can see, because I just had to pull myself to the beginning of where I met him, because it's gone by so fast, since last summer. So then we exchanged phone numbers, and, I said, you've really got to meet my dad. You're going to love my dad. He's a Marine, too, and he's a great guy, and I think you guys would hit it off really well. So my dad came once, or I exchanged phone numbers, and they got to know each other, and then my dad started hiring them. So I just thought it'd be good for Chuck, and so they became friends, and then...
Cynthia claims that in retrospect, she could tell that Chuck was attracted to her, but she didn't feel the same way. She left the RV park, and when she arrived home, David was gone. He had gone to live in an assisted living center of his own free will. Cynthia explains that it was because he hated having his wife change his adult diapers, but the police would find out later that it was because he was in fear for his life. Cynthia explains that she and her daughter went to find David to try to get him to come back home.
And he was by the nurse's station. So... I just said, go. She wouldn't go. She wouldn't go. And I was like, David, why are you here? Why aren't you in your room? And go to the car. 3 times. Go to the car. She wouldn't go. So I had to grab her by the arm and walk her out. And then he said, and then I grabbed his phone because my dad wanted to talk to him on my phone. And that he was like calling the nurse. Call the nurse. Look what she did. Call the police. She assaulted me. She's abusing my daughter. She's being mean, and so all this stuff, and so I got scared and went to his bedroom, and he wouldn't come, and I kept going out the hall, like, come on, David, we really need to talk while you're not coming home. And I knew, because he didn't want me to do that, because they had put him in one as soon as he got there, saying it's time to man up. Now, David, this is what we do when we, it's a man thing. Right. And he is a man of all men, So he wouldn't come home, so I grabbed his laptop and I stole it. I stole it. Why? Because I wanted to see why he's staying there and who he's talking to. Why would he do that? Not come home and tell me, lie to me about the whole thing. And then, so I just went home, and he never came home, and they transferred him to Las Ventas for another month or 2, and then he went to Granite Gate, and we would visit. And so I was having very little time with David to know, and he missed us, and we missed him. So, of course, we want him home, just the same, no matter what. And he had already cashed out the life insurance policy to pay for this level of care, too, so...
David had a $400,000 life insurance policy, and he was able to draw from it due to his illness. He had withdrawn $200,000 from it and put it into a separate account that Cynthia did not have access to, with the goal of using it for his health care.
We're all good with that. Everything was fine, and he was going to move home. So, but the good part and the different part was we're going to get help. So eventually he came home, and when school started this year, and that was good because then the kids were in school to kind of help get back in the routine when he came home. And I tried to give a new attitude, like, I'm the new sheriff in town. You can't do XYZ anymore, because we never had TV, phone, or computers ever at the same time, because he's an engineer and he messes with everything. Nothing works anymore because he thinks he's doing us a favor, but he's not. David started having, what do you call them? They said dementia or delirium.
Like delusions?
Delusions and stuff, yeah. And so we had a loft, keep him busy. He's an engineer. You have to keep him busy. So we'd give him projects. And I thought, okay, well, and that's kind of mean, but that's what you do to keep him busy or he'll drive you nuts. Mm-hmm. So the last project was constructive because he was going to build a loft bed for me to create more room in the bedroom, because I was on a single next to him, and we needed more room to work 2 people, for Perry carries a big guy. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that would help. And then running into stuff too, he started losing his motor control, so it helped with more room to turn the chair. You need a big swing for his legs. Mm-hmm. So we thought, a loft bed, that's it. So we got him in the garage, and miss him so much already. And I wasn't able to grieve because this Chuck was there all the time. So I thought, even though he's antisocial, he doesn't like anyone to be unannounced or come. And then those are the tickers that get him agitated. So you have to keep him very, you can't surprise him like with something like, you can't change the channel, you can't, everything's routine. So he'd watch his Fox News and have everything, dinner at 5, not 5:05, or so. When the routine got broken and he gets more agitated, then he gets more frustrated, and the next thing you know, he says, I'm killing him or poisoning him all the time. And I never did such a thing. Never. Why you'd think that? I don't know.
You said he's having delusions.
Right.
David called 911 on numerous occasions, claiming that he believed his wife was trying to kill him.